Hello guys, in today's video we're going to check out the best mini ITX cases. I made this list based on my personal opinion and I'm trying to list them based on their price, quality, durability and more. If you want to see their price and find out more information about them, you can check out the links in the description below. Number 5. Thermaltake Core V1. When the Core series is spoken of, we immediately think back to the Thermaltake Core V1, where Thermaltake offered a chassis like no other they had before. Of course, it did take some interior components that we had seen in other designs, but the versatility of the interior design along with the slick rounded exterior, the full mesh front panel and huge side window all lent to its high ratings. The Core V1 has an all-steel assembly for the frame and panels, but this mini ITX chassis has a plastic bezel frame with steel mesh that covers the entire front. The Core V1 is restricted to 276mm in height, 260mm in width, and 316mm in depth. We can also see that there's a windowed panel and a mention of interchangeable panels. This means that either of the well-ventilated side panels will swap with the top panel, so the window can be on the left, the right, or you can leave it at the top as shipped. This model has been designed for those looking to build a compact system, offering room for a mini ITX motherboard alongside a full-size power supply. Just as the Prodigy did years ago, I can see the Core V1 becoming the basis for many mods to come. It's also one of those cases that'll make you ponder buying all the rest of the mini ITX gear just so you can complete a build-in and have one of these Core V1 mini ITX cases gracing your desk. Number 4. NZXT H210. The NZXT H series is made to be a focused case designed for optimal layout and targeted cooling performance. They're also offering several features to make builds more comfortable with cable management considerations, ease of cooling installation, among many other factors. The main features NZXT has chosen to highlight for the H210i, the predecessor to the H200i. Firstly, we've an upgraded CAM Smart controller. This includes double the channels for RGB along with a faster MCU to make it a better overall control unit and more responsive. Let's not forget that the control unit has 3 available channels for fan control, DC or PWM. The chassis fits only mini ITX motherboards as it is a tiny case, measuring in at 334mm high, not including the feet. The H210i can fit up to 3 SSDs plus 1 if you use the bottom mount on the floor of the chassis. HDD fitment for the H210i is one of a single large 3.5-inch drive, which would mount on the floor of the chassis below the PSU shroud area. The front of the box for the H200i is simple, like we've seen on other NZXT models. It's a coloured box which offers a stylized shot of the top corner IIO of an H210 series chassis, then has the name and model size. With everything we observed and mentioned in this review, does the H210i stand up to the challenge and win over a recommendation to earn your hard-earned cash? Well, I would have to say yes. There are not many cases that have the features we've seen today. Number 3. Fractal Design Node 202. This small footprint is an intelligently built unit where extreme detail was placed into the specific phase to get every line and spec in perfect harmony. With both horizontal and vertical orientation possibilities, the Node 202 can be placed anywhere in the house. The sleek design makes it very attractive next to the TV in the living room or on your desk in the office. The Fractal Design Node 202 is a very sleek and compact chassis. It may hold potent hardware, so you're able to build a gaming rig the size of 2 large office binders. The enclosure is well constructed and Fractal Design has done a great job by offering a clean chassis that'll fit the living room, while also adding some edgy design elements to give those wanting to build an understated gaming rig what they want. If you look at the Node 202 without the PSU, the price seems quite adequate. That said, it is unfortunate that the unit with the PSU essentially costs twice as much. Packing a 450-watt 80-plus bronze PSU from FSP is certainly potent enough for all your gaming needs, but considering that similar units from other brands retail for less than €60 in the EU, it would have been nice to see some savings for the end user if the bundle is bound right off the bat. Number 2. Fractal Design Nano S. Fractal Design is one of the few companies out there to have successfully evolved their brand in an iterative fashion, and the same goes for their cases. The Define series has been around for a long time, and the Fractal Design has managed to update it numerous times to keep up with the market. With the Define Nano S, they offer a chassis that has the same principle and DNA as the Define S, but in a much more compact way. Taking a look at the chassis for the first time, it looks like a smaller version of the Define S. You'll find the same clean lines and faux brushed aluminium look for the front and the understated side panel's white elements, which were sprinkled about an otherwise black colour scheme. There are plenty of small form factor cases out there that aim to combine compact dimensions with the ability to install potent hardware within. While there are cases that are even smaller than the Define Nano S, none allow for such uncompromising use of liquid cooling gear. If you're going for air cooling, you will not be disappointed either, as there are plenty of top flow coolers available that'll fit within the chassis, allowing you to easily build your next gaming rig without having to compromise much when it comes to balancing noise with performance. The Define Nano S lives up to the performance expectations set forth by its larger counterpart, while also delivering plenty of build space and options for expansion. Number 1. Cooler Master NR200. It's been years since I found myself writing a chassis review, but there's no form factor in mind better than ITX. Of course, those ATX and extended ATX boards will always have more features, but vendors are increasingly pushing the bar forward on ITX motherboard design. Over the last few years, I've found myself falling into the niche ITX chassis market, building in cases like the N-Case M1, Dan A4 and Luke Ghost. All fantastic chassis, but always hard to find, and with a price that'll test how committed you are to the build. Earlier this year, Cooler Master decided to flip the market on its head and release the NR200, the latest chassis in the Masterbox lineup. This solution, as you already know, is an ITX chassis offered in two colorways, black and white. An additional SKU was released separately as well, offering a tempered glass side panel, the NR200P. The exterior of the NR200 is sleek and free of flare outside of the full ventilated and mesh side panels. If you're going to set this up for an HT-PC or living room gaming PC, it would almost pass itself off as a subwoofer if placed on the floor, but if you place it in a cabinet, it'll be a nice box. At the end of it all, the Cooler Master NR200 is more than deserving of an Editor's Choice Award. The NR200 is a solid case, not flimsy at all in construction. It's one of the easiest cases of its size to build. There is more modularity to this case than even those twice its size, and I'm pretty sure I missed some features along the way. However, it definitely is one of the best mini ITX cases in the market.